Ta-da, my friends out there in YouTube land. Rockin' Dave from Mars. North Fort Myers, Southwest Florida. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I hope everyone is doing good out there, or better than good. I hope you're all doing great out there. It's a beautiful day down here in Florida, and want to give my condolences for those who lost their lives in Carolina with the hurricane. I really, our thoughts and prayers are with all of you and the family. And hope our good friend out there, Joe Wentz from the Joe Wentz Project, is safe. Him and his family. I don't know exactly where he lives in the Carolinas. He did mention, but want to make sure that they're all right. Is we know what that's like, man. Because last year when we first moved down here, we were down here a month, and boom, here comes Hurricane Irma. I'm like, holy crap! And the scary part is when you go to the store, and all the shelves are bare, and you need water down here because everything's salt water. You need to buy enough supplies to last you a good couple of weeks because you don't know the amount of damage and how long you're going to be able without power. And the necessities, food and water, mostly water. But then also the gas stations, shrink wrap around the pumps, no gas. Down here we only have, on the Gulf side where we're at, we've got Interstate 75 to get out of here, and that was all cluttered up, and we were able to go to a couple of friends' house that helped us out. So we were actually down here when the hurricane came through, and I think we did some video. But it was scary. It really was scary. So our thoughts and prayers are with everybody. And so we got 6 people watching, 2 thumbs up. I really appreciate it. R2R3 rocking. Sorry, buddy. It's always good to see you, man. Always good to see you. Lance Moses. Lance Moss. How you doing? David Enos. How are you? I think we got some more, but my thing kind of freezes here. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I'd like to give a shout out to our good friend out there, Adam EVH in Canada, Joe Wentz from the Joe Wentz Project, Jim Geetrid from Louisiana. When I get some time open up, I'll be able to contact people and talk and all that. We'll have a nice, good old time. So, as you guys know, I use a lot of the Digitech stuff because of the convenience of it. There's a guy I like to, actually, first of all, I like to say everyone subscribe to each other's channels. We got Joe Wentz, Joe Wentz Project, Adam EVH, Jim Geetrid, R2R3 Locky Nut, David Enos, Lance Moss, Dry Heat 480, Ben Coombs, Mr. Bruce. All you guys are great, man. Really appreciate it. And Michael B from Boston. We like Michael B. He's got some good stuff. And actually, he had something real interesting I was able to catch a little bit yesterday morning, pertaining to, and Guitar Girl, Kayla Guitar Girl, and EJ's Guitars. As the chat goes on, the mind's going to remember everybody, and I apologize. I want to thank everyone that subscribed to my channels. I'm going to write names down, and our next session we'll do like a whole shout out. All our new subscribers, thank you so much. It's very much appreciated. When I get some time, I'll check out you guys' channels and leave you guys some good comments. And when I do the shout outs to help people subscribe to each other's channels. But Michael B had something real interesting. What he was talking about was DistroKid. I think that's what it's called, DistroKid, and the copyrights and things of that nature, and doing the covers, and of course, RUI, we have tonight off, which is kind of good, because we kind of like, okay, catch our second wind, because I just did my gig last night at the Le Corte Bistro down here in Cape Coral, so that's all the classical guitar. In October, they're going to have me every Wednesday and every Friday, so that's why we're moving our Rock and Ibanez to Tuesday. Because Wednesday is it's gonna be October. From October on, it's gonna be go. So, which is a good thing. And plus, we got a few gigs we're gonna have at the Blue Monkey, and also at Rusty's. It is hurricane season down here, so a lot of places are like, okay, it's kind of like slow. It gets like this down here, which I don't mind because we want to make sure that everyone could prepare for any damages that could happen. But anyways, so what Michael B was talking about was, the situation, and I thank Michael for giving a shout out for us. What we had mentioned pertaining to copyrights and doing covers and things of that nature. We are going to be doing more new songs for RUI, and in the future, I've got definitely some material already written, chord progressions, and we'll start incorporating our more and more originals. Um, but what's going on? Let's see. Sonia, hi. How are you? It's good. I'm glad that you tuned in. I'm really glad that you tuned in because you had something real interesting that was on I think EJ's chat and then Michael B's chat, and this whole thing with these copyright infringements, and there's a thing called performance rights, and things of that nature. None of these things that I mentioned is meant to scare people or deter people from doing what they want. It's just the awareness of what is happening out there, and just think of it, guys. If they're your songs and people are making a bunch of money off of you, and you're not seeing much of this, you might want to say, hey, you got to get the permission. And some bands, they really don't care, and that's fine, And to me, it's not a bad thing. To me, I see the catch-22 in this. I think it's actually a good thing. One of those bad boys, as well as my sponsorship. I just like to have fun, guys, right? That's right. Support for my wife and all of you. And we got two more sponsors. We just picked up two little kitties. Oh, Deb's coming with them.
Two more sponsors. Meet the little guys.
There's a girl named Jennifer Morales.
This one is Thor.
Mm-hmm.
This one is Tiger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe if I come down and you can see how little they are.
Oh yeah, they're tiny.
Look
little
how
guys.
tiny. The little tail. The little face.
Now don't pee into the camera.
And
Thank you, Sonia.
Here's Tiger.
David Anus, thank you so much.
Little tiny tails in the face. Yeah.
We still have our cat Moses. I call him Boogs, aka Boogs, and he's kind of like.
Okay. Thank you for liking us.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. Yeah, subscribe.
Prescribe, subscribe. Yeah, our cat Moses. He's. You know how it is. We've had him already, 4 years? And he came down to Florida with us. We got him in Illinois. So he's kind of like moping around a little bit. So I have to spend time with him and let him know that we still love him and everything, So, but anyways, guys, with this whole situation with these copyright infringements and things that's going on, I look at it as this. They have the right to do what they want. That is their music. It's their property. And I was thinking about this when I was coming back from the bank and the grocery store earlier this morning, and I got thinking about this. And I want to go back as far as the 1950s rock and roll. Okay, and what's going on with the big band era? And it's playing other people's music has always been going on. Okay, and it's an honor. People will play my music. I'd be honored. It doesn't really matter to me. But it's of lately, like the last few years, it's kind of gotten a little bit out of control. And I remember a couple years ago, we were watching a program on CNBC called Squawk Box. It's a financial program, early in the morning. And I think this is like the 9 or 10 o'clock hour. I can't remember. But and actually, maybe it was the 10 o'clock hour because they were done at 10 o'clock. So I would say the last 15 minutes of it, segment, they had jazz fusion guitar great Al Di Meola as a guest. And you're probably thinking, why is he going to be on a financial program? And they had him in the studio playing his acoustic guitar. And Joe Kernan, who's one of the anchors, said his first concert was Return to Forever with Al Di Meola. But the subject they were talking about is a continuing subject that was being being mentioned on CNBC. I think Neil Young was talking about this, about recouping all the money lost from Apple iTunes and all these other organizations and other platforms. Taylor Swift was involved, I believe, and Al Di Meola was saying, people don't realize that it costs your major artists. It's a lot of money to go in the studio to record. And he made a comment that was basically after the co-anchor, his name is Andrew, had, hey, Foul Fish, what's happening, my friend? Good seeing you. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So Andrew asked Demiola, he says, well, it seems like, you guys seem to be doing pretty good money-wise, And I liked what Al Demiola said. He said that what people don't realize is that the amount of cost it costs them to go in the studio, to record the CD, then to sell it, because a lot of it's merchandise sales. Now, someone like Demiola, yeah, they are pretty much financially set. However, they're not big superstars like Taylor Swift, and all these other people, But they've made their money, and they've been very smart with their money, So, let's see. I thought I saw Ed Dana. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I want to give a quick shout out to Ed Dana. If you guys have not subscribed to Ed Dana's channel, go ahead and do so. Ed is he's a great guy. He'll put up his videos with him and his wife out there gigging, and I think the last couple weeks they have 10 shows in 10 days, or maybe it was 11 shows in 10 days, maybe one or two of them. They actually did 2 shows in a day, and we've been in that situation, and it's it's a lot of work. It's go, 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 go. You get tired. And I like what Ed said about carrying the smaller amps. When you do a lot of shows, and as you get older, you don't want to be dragging the heavy stuff around. And I love the tone that Ed gives out. I like a lot of the newer tube amps out there, but out of all the ones I tried at Guitar Center the other day when that video of the Fender Twin that's up there, I went back on Monday to play them, and they wouldn't let me do any videos. And I thought, that's okay. But actually, out of all the amps I tried, the one that really stood out, that was actually the cheapest and was used, was the Fender Super Champ XD, not the Times 2. The Times 2 is the second version of that. But wow, it did sound great, man. $250, But right now I'm not in the market to buy anything, so. But anyways, so what I wanted to really kind of focus a little bit here, and I'm going to do some jamming too, is on the situation of these copyrights and things of that nature. So if you go back to 1950s, make life simple. Everyone's been doing cover music, but what's been happening, people have been losing money. And like Demiola says, a lot of people are trying to recoup their money. And this actually is a result of wanting things for free. Now, I'm guilty of, get on YouTube and watch all the stuff and that. And I used to, when I first started seeing ads, like commercials on YouTube, I was like, oh, this kind of sucks. But then I started thinking, wait a minute. If part of that money is going to help continue for YouTube to be up and to help pay for the artists, where they can make money, I'm not going to complain about it at all. Scotty G. Hope Scotty G is up. Yeah. So I'll use myself as an example. I shouldn't have to feel that I should be or have a right to do other people's songs, If they don't want me to play their covers, then that's fine. I think the misconceptions. Adam EVH, what's happening, buddy? It's always good seeing you. Adam, you're a straight shooter, my friend. I love that, when you work hard, there's no time for BS, right? Good straight shooter there. So, if someone says, Dave, we're going to have to start charging you to play our songs because we know you're out there making money with this, then okay. Then we'll, go more and more deeper. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear, buddy. Yeah, Adam, I hear you loud and clear, man. And that's why, talking about the situation with copyrights and do you have the right to play this song? Actually, I don't have the right to play any copies at all, any covers. That I did not write those songs. I do not own those songs. They're not my material. So, and these organizations are out there to help protect people, even like me, because I have got like 14 CDs out there. And of course, it's all originals. And in a lot of different styles. Mostly, I do have some rock and metal, which I'll be able to do some more of that. Uh, and a lot of it's in the jazz and classical style, sector. Um, so BMI, we're members of BMI and ASCAP, and they also help protect us. So we can make money. So that's the whole point of BMI and ASCAP and this whole situation. And so Michael B was talking about DistroKid and how you can, and he broke it down really nice. So Michael, you did a great job. That was very informative. Um, so, but the reality is, if let's say an artist, let's say like the Eagles, or I don't want to mention names because see, it gets to such a point if you mention a name, it could be like, oh, why are you using our name? Is it a negative thing? Is it, it's not negative. The point being is that if any particular artist, even though they tried DistroKid and said, okay, you're gonna recoup some money for me, okay, we're gonna give you guys a shot. We'll check it out, see how well this works. You got to keep in mind that at any moment they could say, now depending on what their contract is, but still DistroKid, unless DistroKid buys Stairway to Heaven, they don't own it. Right? They can get the money for Stairway, but they don't own it. And let's say if Jimmy Page is the sole owner of Stairway to Heaven, he has the right to say, to contact me down here in North Fort Myers, Southwest Florida. Dave, it's nice what you're doing. That's a real cool version of it, but I'm going to have to charge you because that is my song. And you're using my song to help you make money. You see what I mean? What makes this all different here? Some people do this for fun, and it's a lot of fun, and maybe you can make a couple extra bucks on the side. Where I could see this could be a problem, and a problem particular for us, meaning my wife and I, we have an incorporated company, Transacoustic Productions Incorporated. So we have federal tax ID numbers, we do everything legally, so they know we're out there as a business. We're not just doing this for fun. We took our passion and turned it into a business. And so they're aware of that. So if they wanted to come after me and just say, please, we don't want you playing any more songs, because, if we add up, there's 52 weekends in a year, and let's say, even just as a soloist, let's say I didn't have Michael as my vocalist, and I'm doing everything instrumental, and I only play one day out of a weekend. There's 52 weekends, so that means I play 52 weekends. I do 52 shows. At $100 a pop, I think everyone could do the math. It's $5,200, right? Well, that's not a whole lot of money. Yeah, Dave, maybe you could afford to, buy into DistroKid and, protect yourself and blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah. But let's say I need that $5,200 to help supplement my income. Okay? So now I cannot afford this. But let's say, God forbid, I had to have medication or something, which thank God I don't. But my whole point is, the whole point really is that I made $5,200, and even though that's only one song of many songs, they could still say, yeah, but you're still making money. So you're a good guitar player. You seem to be able to do your own stuff. Why don't you go out and just write your own music? I know it's tough out there. We had it tough when we were coming up. These people could legally do this, and they would have the right. And honestly, guys, I would not take it offensive because I understand their situation. We have the perception that these people are super rich now, and some of them they are. They're very much established. But you got to keep in mind, if your lifestyle needs X amount of dollars to keep that lifestyle afloat, it'd be equivalent to someone winning the lottery and they win $1 million, right? That's all they win, $1 million. They quit their job. They want to live off $1 million. It could be done if you're very frugal. But now if you want to be a big shot and just buy everything high end, you could burn through that $1 million in a month, or less, depending on what you're doing with it, So something like that would apply to people who have made their music a business, and that's where the danger factor would be in, and that's where people could say, hey, you're gonna have to rent our songs, basically, okay. Now, my singer Michael, he loves. I let him pick the originals because I want him to be comfortable singing, and he's very good at what he's doing, very very good, and it has helped me as a musician to even open up my mind more, and I absolutely thank him for that, and I just love it. But I am in the process of writing a whole bunch of songs that's going to be tailored specifically for his voice, stuff that I like to play, and some that we could go out there and say, okay, we just lost 10 cover songs that we can no longer play. Why don't we replace it with maybe 15 originals that are maybe kind of like in the theme of those songs? Now, when you do stuff like this, you're not ripping these people off because they're called chord progressions. If I were to take a simple chord progression like G, D, or I'm gonna do it in this order: D, C, and G. I think with just those three chords, there's like already a few songs we know. Let's see. That might be an original song out there. I don't know. Okay. Of course it is. But the point is, it's D, C add 9. Or just make life simple. D, C, and G. Werewolf in London. D, C, and G. Wanted Dead or Alive. Theme bass. Okay, but it still has D, C, and G. And I could go on and on with this D, C, and G. So, if you were to take, like in metal, you have a lot of songs that will use an E minor, D and C. I heard that song before. I can't place where. E. Alright, E, D, G, but they'll have your C. So my whole point is, I read this article years ago where Richie Blackmore, he was asked, well, where do you come up with your ideas? He said, everyone steals from each other. And he didn't mean to say it like that. Yeah, Maiden, you got that right. You got that right, Adam. Sorry about the sound. It's been a long, long time. I'll brush up on it. We'll see that again. But the whole point is, once you have the whole rhythm structure down, you'll get inspired by your favorite cover band, and then you could take just 2 notes and then run wild with it, and then boom. So a good example, actually a great example, is a Greta Van Fleet. How much they sound like Led Zeppelin. Now whether they're trying to purposely. Yeah, definitely, Adam. We'll have to do a Maiden collab. Yes, absolutely. I'd be honored to do that with you, man. Bust out some of those old, How could I forget that? Here it is. Jeez. Yeah. So riffs and chords. So really, taking a band like Greta Van Fleet, they were heavily inspired by Zeppelin, and a lot of people go hate them. And I actually, Robert Baker made a really interesting comment about them. He says, just let it be, because they do sound good, you know? And I agree with him. They do sound good. Of course, no one's going to ever replace Zeppelin. How about it, Deb?
Yep. Nope.
You know?
Is that the right answer?
Yep, that's the right answer.
I'm studying.
Yeah, Deb. Hey, what's happening, my friend? I'm trying to see everyone's name. We got 10 people, 9 thumbs up. Thank you so much, man. Jake, how you doing, buddy? Oh yeah, say you're just so much Maiden stuff. Oh my God. I mean, what a killer band, right? Michael B, what's happening, buddy? It's great hearing from you, man. I loved your the video that you had up yesterday when talking about DistroKid and that. Really good information there. Something that we would look into and see if it would be feasible for us. Because again, what makes this different is if there's anybody out there that has actually incorporated your music business, your company, you know, and this is where that fine line could just really, man, put you in a situation, because now you're out there and you're a business, you're making money off of music. So this is where that fine line, they could say, you know what, it's one thing for Joe Schmo down the road here, you know, he plays once in a while to do drop in for, you know, beers and cigarette and maybe a couple bucks, you know. We know he doesn't have any money. We don't want to come after him, but we could kind of put the scare tactic on him if we wanted to. But this guy over here from North Fort Myers, Southwest Florida, we know he's out there. This is the situation. And that's why if there's anybody that is out there, this, again, not a scare tactic, you know, whatever, however you work this with your band, that you're doing covers and that, you know, just make sure everything is all legal so you don't put yourself in a financial situation, you know, because it's when the bills pile up, or, you know, the fines pile up. And I don't want to mention anyone's names or anything, but I actually can't remember if someone got actually shut down, you know, can't do anything on live chats because of whatever, you know. And I do know twice I got the notifications, you know. They actually named the songs, you know. So that's why on some of our live gigs that we're going to be doing up, when Deb says we're going to intermission, it's because we're going to play that song and we cannot put it on YouTube until the smoke clears. So, and I do, like I said, appreciate what Michael B put up there with DistroKid and that. And if it's still, I mean, actually, personally, I think I would feel 100% more comfortable. Oh yeah, you can play originals on here with 50 people watching, and yeah, oh yeah. You know what? Here's the deal, though. This is what's starting to happen out in the clubs, because this is what took place in Illinois before we left. So I could see this starting to open up. The lady that owned the club, literally, she asked us, "Do we have any originals?" Now, isn't that kind of strange? A club, you could play at a club owner asking you, "Do you have originals?" And that's because she actually had a member, guy from BMI, actually come out to her location, and he presented her with all the information, and then he did a follow-up call. And she said when he did that follow-up call, she told me she had to say, "No, I don't have live music anymore." You know, and that's all I'm gonna leave it at that. And I will not mention names, but because she wanted to protect herself and her business. These club owners, you know, they're stuck to that brick and mortar building. And one thing that a lot of musicians might forget: all it takes is one person to walk into any type of club, whether you're serving drinks or food, they get sick. the floor's sticky. They call the health inspector. The health department comes out. It's one fee after another fee after another fee. The musicians to a club owner, the janitor actually would be more important than the musicians, because the janitor can at least wipe the floor and keep the place clean, so the person from the health department doesn't come in and shut them down. Because once you get those fines, well, that's insane. It's not fun, And if anyone's ever done any type of construction, any type of work, whether it's construction or you're remodeling your house, if you ever had to deal with city inspectors, you could see just how it could be. So, as far as them, the last thing they need is yet another bill to pay. When down here, there was a guy I was talking to, and he was thinking about not even having entertainment because of the simple fact that he doesn't want to pay these fees for cover bands. He says, I got to pay the band and I got to pay these fees, Well, the band doesn't want to pay, so then I got to pick up the tab, and then why should I have to, the band will say, why should I have to pick up the tab when I'm playing in your place? Yeah, but the restaurant owner is not playing. He's not up there with the guitar playing the songs. We are. So this is what I mean. It's come to this. And again, this is the results of wanting everything for free, So that's why I am and always make the offer for anybody out there. You want me to spotlight your music, your song, no problem. You can subscribe to my channel and literally right through the comments. You don't have to get on Facebook, or you can do it if you want. You don't have to send pigeon mail, P.O. box, any of that. 7 box tops of Kellogg's Fruit Loops or whatever, you know what I mean? You don't have to do anything. Just send me the message. Hey Dave, this is the song, you check it up on this video. And if you get the okay, I get the okay from you, yeah, I'll do that. But it does have to be an original song, because I don't want to go through any more. I don't want to go through any more stuff with the covers, man. And again, I'm not faulting it. It's I love playing the stuff I like playing, but I like just to make up stuff, Dave, send you. Oh, thanks. Thank you, Michael B. I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. And all the information that you put up, Michael, was very, very helpful. And any information that you have is very much appreciated and valued, I'm not saying these things, trust me, I am not a know-it-all at all. But the things I say is coming from first-hand experience. That's why I know what I'm talking about, because it's stuff that has happened to me, And if there's people, like I said, if there's people out there that they want to monetize their channel or whatever they want to do, always keep this in mind. If you, at some point, think that, hey, I can make YouTube work for me as extra income, you don't want to mess with that. That's where you really want to be on the protective side, and just do the things that you're supposed to do, and not look at things as scare tactics, but do the research so you get the permission. And what I was going to say, oh yeah, Sonia, I have too, absolutely. And to me, this whole platform, as far as sharing information and learning from each other, that is really huge reason why I like doing these. Sharing my experiences, and then when you guys have your comments and share what you guys gone through, it's valued. It really is, because it's a different point of view on that same situation that might have happened to you. And it's something that maybe hasn't happened to me yet, or won't happen to me, but it's something to keep in mind, because you have to be prepared for everything. Anything that could happen, I mean. You really do. So, yeah. And, what was I going to say now? But, oh yeah, with the guy with the restaurant, he said that he didn't want to have any more entertainment. And then there was another guy that has a restaurant. He's got 2 or 3 locations. One location in particular, in Cape Coral, he took the stage out and he filled it in with boots. He doesn't want to have any bands. He said basically done. He's done with all that, And then you get some people that can be rude, and that's really too bad, for the club owners. They try to have something nice, and then someone comes in and messes it up, and is obnoxious, or they're just so unreasonable that they demand all this money. You got to look at it this way: if there's not that much money coming into the door, you don't expect that much to go in your pocket because they're hurting too. You know. But at the same time, there is club owners and booking agents that try to make things a little bit rough for us. You know? So yeah. So I wanted to ask anyone out there: have you guys seen the new Hughes and Kettner? I think it's called the Black Spirit 200 head, and I don't know what you guys think of it. You know, small. It's another modeling app. Old man Dan. Oh, don't worry about it, buddy. Don't worry about it at all. Old man Dan. Anytime that I get the permission to spotlight any of your music, just let me know. Oh, cause good. Now that it clicked back in my head again, so now I could get on more subjects of what we got in the works. Yeah, the solid state looks really good. Yeah, Michael B. It is nice. Um, as you know, some of us when we coming up from the 70s and the 80s, we do know what junk really is. And I shouldn't say junk, it was just in its infancy stages. So everything has been evolving. And I love the sound of a tube amp. I mean, it just has that warm tone you cannot duplicate. But I don't know, the reliability of some of the solid state amps are great, and technology has just advanced by, I mean, just miles and miles and miles. And other than a person wanting to have the gear that they have, first and foremost, that's your money. You work hard for it. You deserve to get what you want if you want to spend the money. No one's got a right to tell you, well, if you're in a bedroom, and I don't like using the term bedroom musician, but let's say if you're a studio musician only doing YouTube, you have no business with 10 Marshall stacks. If you want to buy Ingve's whole collection of Marshall stacks and stick them in a room that's a 10 by 10 room and blast your eardrums out, hey, you worked for it. You're not asking anybody for money to help you out with it, right? If that's your choice, you have every right to do that. So I will never make comments when I see people using what they use and doing what they do. It's up to them. If they work hard for it, they got a right to do that, you know? Who am I to tell anybody what to do and what not to do, right? So, yeah, but yeah, the solid state amp, it does sound good. It's nice and lightweight, and it has a lot of options. When there's way too many options, I'm not a big fan of that, but at the same time, my Digitech has gazillions of options. So I'd be kind of a hypocrite saying, I will never use something that's got all these options, and all the stuff I have has got nothing but options. I only use what I use. That's it. What I like out of it, you know. But what I was say with Old Man Dan, I hope you don't mind when you put something up and say, yeah, see what you guys can do with it, and figure kind of fiddle around with it and see what you guys, what I could come up with it. Taking people's songs, I think Mike, Old Man Dan, you actually kind of help continue all this. Oh yeah, Adam, yeah, they do. I've got a Hughes and Kettner Edition Blue, 112 combo, solid state amp, the icky. No good for nothing, solid state amp. This thing kicks ass, man. Totally ass kicker. I've had this amp since 2003. We bought this down here in Port Richey, Florida, and we had it shipped up to Illinois. And done a few shows with it, and wow, man, it just cranks. But so yeah, everyone subscribes to everybody. Like our good buddy in Canada, another good Canadian friend, Guitar Hack. I call him the great Les Paul rocker, He's a great guy. Yeah. I like myself say Fender. Oh! Sonia. That's great. What? Way more amp than I need or can move, but I like it. Unused the Boss, a multi-effect Boss GT1 with it. Oh yeah, Sonia, absolutely. You know what? I plugged into that Fender Champion 100. 212s, it's not too heavy. It's got simplicity. Just like a black-faced Fender, simplicity. And the thing sounds great. I'm like, holy crap, But, yeah, so like Old Man Dan, so I take some of the stuff and just okay, add drums and bass to it and things of that nature. So basically, what we're going to be doing, and I think we might start this on next Saturday because I'll actually have more time, is have it spotlighting Saturdays, and with conjunction our shredding. And anyone that's got a song, just like I said, just type in, hey Dave, check out this song. It's on this YouTube, boom. I mean, it's all you gotta do is you can just put it in the comments. Plug it and play. Let's go. Let's jam it out. So and not to critique anybody, just to spotlight, to say, hey, check this out. I really believe in doing stuff like this. Like when I do at my gigs. Yeah, my katana is similar features to the new Heroes Encounter. Yeah, the katana is a nice amp. I mean, if that, I want to say the katana's overdrives and distortions are analog. They don't really sound digital at all. And I know the Tone King, I mentioned that about the PV Viper series, that it's 100% analog, and that's why it does sound real good, Some of the digital amps, here's the deal with them with that fizzy sound. You have to get into the EQ and back down on the presence and highs. Now, when you do that, you might get like a little bit of a muddy mid-range, maybe a little bit muddy low end, so you really got to get in and tweak it. But that being said, they still sound better than the first guitar amplifier I had. And I'm not talking about my Crate 1R. That was shaped like a crate box. I'm talking about literally the first amplifier I had with my Checkmate guitar. You turn the volume knob on, click, and that's it. That's all you get with that little tiny crappy speaker. And it's probably taken out of a radio and put it into the box. Now we got a guitar amp. That was crap. So you just have to mess with the tone in that. Yeah, katanas are good. Now, I hope this is not too loud for you guys. This is supposed to be like the Marshall Brown sound. One of my tricks I use for these, I take the gain, I don't crank the gain, and I don't crank like the drive either. I just get it in that nice sweet spot, because with some of the stuff, when you crank it, that's when it just falls apart, And even when I run my Digitech into my guitar amps, I still have the output setting to a mixer, because it kind of helps filter the fizziness of the distortion. So, I think if a person doesn't have a whole lot of money to afford all this expensive stuff that's out there, and you're going to pay for what you get, but also keep in mind, sometimes you're also paying for the name recognition, and, so you got to, keep that in mind. So let's say you don't have enough money for the Helix or the Fractal or whatever, and you have to go with a little bit of lower budget, because of money-wise. Don't do the comparison. Well, in other words, let's say if all you can afford is a Digitech, $150, and you're going to compare it to something that's $1,500. Don't do that. See what good you can get out of the $150, Because it's all really, first and foremost, what you do with what you have. So yeah, it's which when we launch our DB guitar jams, that's gonna be online lessons, and we're gonna make it super affordable. So what 1 year and annual 1 year subscription, but I guarantee you guys are gonna fall off your chairs to see how affordable it is, because we're not out to rip people off. But what we're gonna be doing is helping people who feel like they're stuck writing their own music, and also how you can get the best tone out of what you have, you know what I mean? Because everything really is subjective. It's an opinion. And I know there's people out there, they'll bash this gear, bash that gear, and they're entitled to their opinions. If they don't like something, they're absolutely 100% entitled to say they don't like it, and that's up to them. But if it's something that you like, something that you could afford, try to look at what good you can get out of it before you get rid of it. Because I've gotten rid of gear because I thought it was junk, and I'm like, look back, I'm like, I should have never got rid of this, that, and the other. Robert's Guitar Dungeon has a video up today on the Metal Zone, the Boss Metal Zone, and he's got his original one from 1992. He watched a video of Ola Engel demonstrating his Boss ME2. Groovy Girl, how you doing, buddy? It's good seeing you, man. And basically, Robert was doing different demonstration in front of the amp and then into the effects loop. And I guess the whole thing is the Metal Zone kind of like a preamp. I guess in a way you could say it's similar to that, because when you have any controls over bass, middle, and treb, you kind of have that, you know. So it's you know, it's real interesting. So yeah, Robert's Guitar Dungeon. If you get a chance, check out his channel and subscribe to his channel if you want, because he's got some good stuff, you know. Okay, so now, when it comes down to taking songs, cover songs, yeah, was he saying in the loop it's like a preamp? I think he was, Michael B. Yeah. But here's the thing, okay, what really kills going direct with a distortion box? And let's say we use the Metal Zone as an example. It's going to be the clipping of the distortion, the gain stage. It clips the tweeters, it clips anything that's high end. Because really, if you take a Fender Strat, or even a Les Paul, and you go direct, and you know, if you watch your volume so you're not clipping, you could get a fairly decent direct sound. I'm not saying you could get the greatest, but if you were in a situation where you had to record a clean guitar sound, you know, something that would be equivalent to this, where it's background, it's just, let's see if I can do this. Chorus and a clean sound. You know, you could pretty much go direct with that. Because you got to keep in mind, you could have other instruments playing around it and over it and under it and everything else, you know. So that's going to take tone away. It's when you add distortion. You know, it gets fizzy. So that's why anything that you could go direct where you could filter out that, or if you go through a DI box, it can help filter that out, you're alright. But again, none of it's meant to actually replace, you know, an actual guitar amp. But the convenience of this, they call them flying wheels. Groovy Girl, how you doing, buddy? Good seeing you, man. Thank you for tuning in. So, yeah, when it comes down to, let's say, familiar chord progressions, you know. Alright, here's another example. Will you be teaching? Yeah, I will be teaching beginners. Absolutely. It's going to be any style. It's going to be helping people with developing techniques so that they could look at Mr. Zach Thong. How you doing, buddy? Thank you for tuning in. To help people really just open up their mind that you don't have to know a whole lot of all these modes. Everything is helpful. Oh, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it, Groovy Girl. Thank you. But you don't have to be a shredder. You don't have to be a virtuoso. It's really going to help people develop technique and develop it in a way that's going to make sense. Where you don't have to feel like and to understand the fretboard where it's not going to confuse people. I really have a hard time understanding why someone would want to confuse somebody. And I think Guitar Hack said it best. Make it simple, because Guitar Hack, he teaches I guess he teaches some very highly technical courses, and in the trades, in the professional world. And I'm not saying music isn't professional, but I think learning how to understand electricity, if you're an electrician, is a little bit more important than do I do a Dorian, Phrygian, flat at third, augmenting to 19th or not? Do I step in wet water, lick my finger, and touch the prongs of the electrical, and hold the electrical box, and what's more important, right? Soda Pop, what's happening, my friend? Good seeing you. Okay, so a good example of what I said earlier about with the D, C, and G. Gazillion songs off of D, C, and G. Here you have A and B. Same chords, just different rhythms. So why can't any of you guys out there, and I know you guys know this, but to give you the assurance that, yeah, you can go out there. Hey, I want to make up a song using those same chords, and whatever hell you want to call it, that's up to you, right? All I did is I went from A to C and then back to B. That's all I did. Mess around with the order of it. Mess around with different rhythms, Now here's something, and I was messing around with this, and I've done this before. Now the name of the song popped in my head yesterday. I'm doing my classical guitar gig at La Corte yesterday, and everything's real elegant, real nice. Now, there's a song, John Cougar Mellencamp, or John Cougar, or is it John Mellencamp, or Johnny Boy, or whatever, you know what I mean? He had this song called, what's that? I Need a Lover That Won't Drive Me Crazy. That's what it was, okay. Do you see the correlation there? It's the same chords as in if you slow things down, you can start to hear all these other songs. If ever there's a secret in songwriting, it's just that people have been influenced by each other, and they'll take that influence and they'll totally make it something else. Now, when they start taking people to court for using the A minor chord, now we got problems. Now they just went really too far with all this. You know what I mean? Why don't you just kill it all right now while you're at it? But these are the things I'll be touching on with our DB guitar jams, and again, we are in the process of getting all that together. It's gonna take a little time because we got the domain name, I think, and yeah. So we got a few other things we need to get together. Very simple. It's gonna be literally like you're in the room with me practicing. I'm not gonna go out there. Well, you did this wrong. I mean, I'll critique. Let you know what's going on, but at the same time, not kill it to the point where you get so discouraged that you quit. That's why I don't like confusion. When I used to teach back up north, I had students of mine, they literally would take lessons from other people, and they would want to play metal. And then the teacher would say, well, that's not music. Metal is not music. Well, wait a minute. If it's not music, how come people, if peace sells, who's buying? Or you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like saying rap. Now, I'm not a big fan of rap, and I know a lot of people out there feel the same way. We're guitar. We like our guitars. You know what I mean? But we gotta admit that people are buying it. That's the reality. That is always the reality. I mean, I'm not buying it, but you know. And I'm not trying to cut people's preferences down, you know. I honestly believe, and this is kind of like teetering on, you know, the fence of, you know, dropping off the face of the earth. Like someone told me that the world's getting too heavy, it's going to fall out of the sky. Okay. But if you take an EJ's guitar, was messing around with a hip hop rhythm. I love watching people's chats here. Dave, if you're doing WordPress styles, I can host. Oh, okay, Michael B. Yeah, we were gonna be getting in touch with you with all this because you got some very great insight, man. Oh, Michael, I really appreciate that, man. Yeah, Michael, I help out friends. I totally that's why I make the offer. That's why you see me at some of our live gigs. You know, we've played and we're going to continue to do this. Jim Dietrich's original, Joe Wentz original. We did Broken Change. He's got original. We have another original, and I got it in the list, and I forgot the guy's name, and I really apologize because he's a great, great guy. And of course, I had to get the permission from Philippa to play her song, and she said, yeah, she didn't understand what spotlighting meant, and I explained it to her. And she said, yeah, you guys could do that. I got to look back in the archives because that girl, Rachel, she's got her original. But anyways, and I'm pretty sure she'd give me the okay. The reason why I do this is I remember when I was younger, man, I remember, you know, as soon as you start developing technique and you start really developing to the point where we would be in music stores and my friends, Andy and Angel, we'd be in the music stores and some of the guitar teachers would be looking at it because we started developing our technique really fast. And not just to play fast, but to play elegantly and to play with, you know, even our rhythms and everything. They started noticing it. Some of these people were kind of getting mad at us. I'm like, geez, why are you getting mad, you know? The threat comes on, you know? It's an old saying. When you turn in from a fan to a musician, you're not just a fan that turned into a musician, you're a competitor. You know, that's the reality. So, oh yeah, peace sells who's buying, exactly. I had so many people, especially when my hair is down and it's long, and they tell me, you kind of look like Dave Mustaine, or you kind of look like Steve Harris from Iron Maiden. Yes. Yeah, rap is just another artistic form of expression. So yeah, though it's not my favorite. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Sonia, because it really is. And what I was going to say pertaining to this, how many people would be brave enough to say, I'm going to take a rap song, have it play in the background, and I'm going to put guitar music to it? I wonder what would really happen with it. Sometimes I get a little bit of the urge to do that because, you see, doing the styles that I play, not just metal and classical, but the jazz fusion, has rhythms that have groove oriented. And the only thing I hear are those beats, you know. Now, a lot of it would be slow music, slower type of patterns, but I wonder where it would take. You know, it would be like Ice-T. Ice-T, when he had Body Count, I'm pretty sure someone had told me that the same people that they used to record some of the rap music were the same musicians he took out with Body Count. So, you know, I wonder what would happen if this could be a part of a resurrection for guitar to be back in the spotlight, and then all of a sudden say, "Ooh, you know, that guitar looks cool," or you know what, you grab the BC Rich, you know, and you're doing a country rap song, right? You know, got the cowboy hat on, got the big belt buckle and everything, but then you got the BC Rich Warlock, and then you start rapping. The point is that people are going to say, hey, you know what, that kind of looks cool. And then you start little by little evolving, adding distortion, adding this. And I mean, it could help kind of turn the wheel around because what I see that's going on out there is the people with money calling the shots. And that's why we've always said, as far as having a backup system, make sure you got something you can fund your project. And that's our plan B. Our plan B is, well, we're not going to rely on so-and-so record producer company, and they've been a nice guy, and they're great, but then they ran out of money. Okay, well, can't help you, right? No money can't help you. So you go out there and you do it yourself, you know. And yeah, it's tougher. It is way tougher. But here is the catch-22 on this. All our road shows that we funded ourselves, we had 100% control over. We knew where our money was coming, where it was going, and if we were going to get burned, and that's that has happened, and it's been burned into a situation where the producer ran out of money. Big festival in Texas. I'm not faulting Texas because I love Texas.
Oh, Mike sent Michael B sent his email.
Oh, excellent. See, thank you so much, Michael B. I appreciate it. Yeah, my wife. See, I get on YouTube. My wife gets on Facebook because she's way smarter, and I know that sounds crazy, but that's just. Yeah, that's my biz. Oh, I appreciate that, Michael. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. How about it, Adam? And I'm catching up on the chat. So yeah, Mike, Broken Chains is on fire lately, and this is great. You know, the whole thing is to inspire people to say, yeah, don't worry about if you make a mistake. We all make mistakes, you know, but don't let that be what holds you back in life. Because there's one thing that's a guarantee. Arvin Grant, how are you, buddy? Good seeing you. I'm catching up on the chat, so I apologize. I love old school rap. Oh, Adam, that's really cool, man. And there's certain things that I know can be done. God bless you, hon.
Thank you.
That can be done because there's a rhythm there. You see, that's what's, if it's got a rhythm, it's got a pulse, you got a creative idea, boom. And then maybe these people that got their drawers hanging down say, whoa, look at that guitar. Hey, that does sound pretty cool. And then they can continue with their image if they want. This is not to try to change people, but just to kind of like open up the spectrum and say, hey, that really is cool, you know? But what I was going to say is, what is a guarantee is if you allow yourself to get held back because someone has told you not to do this, that, and the other because you have to do it the right way, and then you listen to that person trying to do it the right way, and then you burn through your savings, you have to take a second mortgage out of your house, and then life passes you by. Guarantee, you run the risk of going to the poorhouse real fast, and that's why I speak out against people who do stuff like that. But I don't let people hold me back because I know that the hands of time go forward. I'm going to be hitting double nickels in about another month. You know what I mean? And I still feel like I'm 25. Dude, maybe if Sammy Hagar allows us to do the cover of I Can't Drive 55, I Can't Believe I'm 55. You know what I mean?
Isn't that funny?
But what I was just saying is another option that, and I wouldn't have any problem doing this, is Led Zeppelin. Okay, I continue to do Stairway to Heaven, but now I might have issues. Okay, this organization might help me. Hey, let's email Jimmy Page. That's Jimmy, right? Jimmy Page, right? He wants to respond back and get his permission and say, listen, Mr. Page, big fan, love your music. You're an iconic figure. But I'm not here to kiss your rectum here. I'm here to show respect and the one that Brown knows. But I just want to ask you a real simple question. You're the one that owns Stairway to Heaven. Do I have your permission? Or do you want a fee? What's the fee? You know? And do I have your permission? He says, Dave, don't worry about it. You're a Chicago guy. I love Chicago. Okay. As long as I have your permission, you know? And then, when I'm out there doing the gigs, say, listen, there's a song called Stairway to Heaven by this band I know no one's ever heard of called Led Zeppelin. Subscribe to them. You know, give them a shout out, you know? And let's see where that goes. I know this sounds crazy to some people, you know? But when I was working in the trades, one of my instructors had from ETI, Environmental Technical Institute. He used to give all his students advice. He said, you know, you get in the trades, if you could open up your business and you're stuck on a problem, You don't know what's going on. You're afraid. Call the engineers. Call the manufacturer. Because he said, what's the worst case scenario? Click to hang up on you. What's the worst case scenario? Jimmy Page says, drop dead, you know, and I'm not, he wouldn't say that. But then I could come out and shoot you. You know what I mean? What is the worst case scenario? I know I'm rambling on here. Because look at the chats. Yellow Ocean Original Sons. Yeah, absolutely. You're very welcome, my friend. You know, it's this whole platform of YouTube, I take it as, hey, it's an opportunity to spotlight myself. Of course it is. But it's bigger opportunity to connect with everybody and share with everybody and also, you know, bring this back up to the forefront, you know. Okay, so anything that's groove oriented, see, I've been blabbing on for a long time, right? Yeah, I like country, soda pop. Say I like country, blues, rock, metal, death. It would be death metal, yeah, jazz, old, yeah. You know, to me, music is music, and the more that you start your brain opens up. I also love the big band and classical. Yeah, Sonia, I grew up listening to motion picture soundtrack, which is all classical music. And I remember as a kid, just it got to such a point, I would absorb all this, and I would start to be able to hear. I could hear the violin section here. I could hear this there. I could hear, and I didn't know it was an arpeggio, but I would hear, chords being plucked and things of this nature. You know, it's like after a while, you start to develop the ear and you start understanding things. So when it comes to coming up with song ideas. A matter of fiddling around with chords. Oh, thank you, Zach. Giving a shout out to Deb. Yeah. And again, everyone subscribe to each other's channels, man. This is the whole, right now, this is such cutting edge with YouTube and being able to connect with people around the world. This is great, man. This is really what's happening. Oh, yeah. Sonia. Absolutely, Sonia. Sonia has mentioned opera is great, too. Is amazing too, since the singer becomes, yeah, oh yeah. Now I belong to a classical guitar organization. Thank you so much. Thanks. I'm doing and check out your stuff. Oh yeah, yeah, groovy groovy. Check out Michael B's stuff, man. Don't do that. Okay, I'll take your advice. Yeah, thank you for that advice. Maybe I'll. You know? But what I was saying, the organization is called Guitar Foundation of America. It's all classical. And then within that sector, that's a whole different world right there. But you'll see where guitar and opera. And this is where, all right, with opera singers, okay? Guitar, where else do you see guitar and opera? Not just in classical, but you take classical oriented music and you call it symphonic goth metal. And now this opens up a whole platform. Oh yeah, every single person here is worth following. Oh yeah, absolutely, Sonia. Absolutely. Definitely. Oh, yeah. Pavarotti does a brilliant song with YouTube called, yeah. And you know, Pavarotti was a big fan of Rob Halford and Judas Priest, you know? I need Eric yeah. One Eric Johnson lick. Okay, I'll tell you what. Here, this is what we're gonna do. Because I'm gonna start doing this as well. All kind of stuff. I'll be right back. Watch this. Okay, so remember when we had tab books? Okay. This is what I do. I'll tell you what, guys. This is the advantage of understanding notation. You don't have to be a fast sight reader, but there's an advantage where you could take a song and just flip it all over, you know, in different positions on the fretboard. Okay. what I want to do is find the main theme to this and do it slow. And I hope this is not going to be dragged out. You know what I mean? Okay, sorry, I'm looking at this because I think I marked it as actually. Okay, so one of the themes with Clifford Dover. Now I hope I don't screw this up, but even if I do screw it up, so what, right? You get to see it in action. Okay, so you have this. This is what I would do when I go over material with, if I'm not used to the pattern, I just do it slow. I'll look at something first. Okay, and I'll figure out what fingerings to be the most comfortable, right? And this is like painfully slow. Now, so that is very painfully slow because what that is the beginning section of da 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 da. But what you want to do is gain control. The problem a lot of people do, they really want to play it fast right away. And then what happens is the fumbling and stumbling. But the thing is, people say, well, that's slow. And that was very painfully slow, right? Because you got slides. But you could do this as a pull-off if you want. And of course, for me, it would take a little while because I'm just not used to the pattern, you know. And it's something I should do and work on. And then also, what I'm thinking about doing is like taking a song like this and play purposely, learning it. I'll have to learn it slow, you know. But keep it at a slower tempo, so maybe that could help influence people and inspire people to say, okay, this is the real secret of gaining control. And I know there's people out there that are going to say, well, if you want to play fast, you just got to play fast, right? Okay, well, okay. So it's not the fact that I can't play fast. It's just you learn a new pattern, you want to have control over it. So that when you do speed it up, for instance, what I just did, it doesn't sound mush, you know? Very controlled, you know what I mean? It's not slop. And when you come down to, let's say, doing it with a, cleaner overdrive. You know, that's the thing. If you watch Gary Moore, he has a 2-finger player. Yeah, 70%. Yeah, he is. Yeah, a lot of times, a lot of these guys will do it because based off the pentatonic. And you get really good at what you use the most. Oh yeah, I agree 100%. Adam EVH and Old Man Danny. Gary Moore was incredible. Yeah, a great guitar teacher here. Is Eric from Your Guitar Stage? Watch him. Oh yeah, he's great. Absolutely, subscribe to him definitely. You know the whole thing. When I was teaching very heavily and gigging, you know, there's only so many hours. There's only 24 hours in a day, right? I would tell my students the best advice is to learn from as many people as possible. And then you can start to pick and choose what information from what teacher is going to stick with you the best. You know what I mean? What works for me might not work for you, and my advice will work for you on this part, but then someone else has got another point of view. Absolutely, you know. But what I will do is tell you right from a performer's point of view, you know. Oh yeah, wow, you saw Gary Moore and Belfast, wow. Yeah, Gary Moore was an incredible guitar player, man. Holy crap, you know. He was just awesome. Jimmy T, how you doing? Thank you so much for tuning in. But it's all about having control of your instrument. You know, that's basically what it is. That's why I could play with a clean sound and, of course, on my acoustic. You know? But yeah, that main theme from that song is, again, I'll just do it with a clean sound, right? So you start, here you will start with the C, drop down to B. Now here, if you want to really break stuff down, this is really cool. Now, you'll have that slide down, right? So just use that. And if you want, make it where it is, where you can hear the melody in your head. You know what I mean? So it's going to be easy for you to remember. See? Now you can start to hear it, da 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 da, you know what I mean? But don't be afraid to do something slow and just loop it, even if it's a small little section. Because when you start making these breakthroughs, watch and see how you're going to be able to run with it. Because what you're going to realize is that you got total control of it. Yeah, John Skies is another great guitar player. Sean Lane, yeah, Michael B. So again, it's just a matter of just putting a little bit of time into it each day, or if you do it every other day. The best thing to do is take like a little stopwatch, or I use a little egg timer, and if you want to do 3-minute increments, you'd be surprised how long 3 minutes are. You know, I'm missing the chat. Upward picking, yeah. That's one of the hardest things guitar players will have, you know, is picking upward. It's easier picking down, because I equate picking up or picking down to, you know, equating to it like pushing. It's easy to push, sometimes harder to pull, right? One thing you could do when you're doing your exercises, and maybe I shouldn't, but I'm going to do this, because I'll have much more in depth with DB Guitar Jams, is do all, you know, an exercise. We're just picking up on the next string. The thing is that it gets very boring for some. That's why if you do it in small segments, you know, and then have your jam time, because you gotta be able to, you know, have fun. Let's see. Yeah, Jimmy T, I hope everyone is doing okay. Let's see, Michael B. I use fingers most often. I force myself to use pick as practice. Prefer fingers, yeah. Like on the bass, yeah. I know you got a hybrid picking too. In classical guitar, it is much different. You know, much different. But Michael B, my natural way of playing is with the fingers. I got real good because with my picking technique, because I spent so much time with it. Oh my God, so much time I've spent with the picking because I was just infatuated on how fast Al Di Meola was able to pick each note, very clean. And see, I heard him before any of these guys are coming out, minus Eddie Van Halen because he came out in 1970. Van Halen one was released in 1978. You know, so hearing fast guitar was not. I want to say it wasn't not unheard of. But what was for me is when someone that had such command, and you know when you look at Vinnie Moore, you look at and even Eric Johnson's got a. Oh, I missed the Eric Johnson chat. Okay, Eric Johnson must have had a chat. Vinnie Moore and then Tony McAlpine is a great guitar player. Rusty Cooley and all these guys. You know, they obviously were influenced by guys like John McLaughlin and Di Meola, and a lot of them have mentioned with Al Di Meola because he was like one of the only guys that really had that down so solid it was just unreal, and it's a very hard thing to get this together, you know. And what I'm doing is literally down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So when you add distortion to it, you know, very staccato. Okay, so, but then again, there's nothing like rocking out. Oh yeah, yeah. Eric Johnson is another. He really is like one of the cleanest players. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Raptor picking is hybrid. What it is that you pick, basically you're doing this with hybrid picking. I can only equate it to classical. So again, you're picking. All right, let's see if I do this. Okay. You know, sometimes when I'm doing Stay with Heaven with my pick, you know. You're picking with the pick and then the thumb. But really where a lot of it comes from is like when you're doing thumb and middle finger, let's say for Lyanda. Dave, do you play light or heavy touch? Phil McNick talked about playing light. He even slaps on the bass. Well, it depends. You know what, Michael? It depends on what is you're looking for. I know what you mean. Let's see. There was another comment. We are reconnecting, guys. The phone crossed each other, and it just a washout. But yeah, okay. So when I play with a light touch, okay. Now I'm going to both explain this with picking and with finger picking, but we're going to right now concentrate with finger picking. And because this subject came out, I'm going to grab my classical guitar so you can see exactly. You'll be able to hear the result with dynamics. Because you'll have dynamics with your amp in that. One of the best ways to really develop any type of technique like that, okay, is if you do lightly, right? Softer, right? Harder, you know, because you want a certain expression coming out. Okay. If you pluck too hard, you're gonna get this. You'll get that. It's a lot of like really harsh. So that is what you could do. Yeah, speed is nothing without clarity. Absolutely. Soda pop, exactly. Because it has to sound clear. That's pretty fast, but it's actually clear, so you could hear it. That's why I'm not really a big fan of not too much legato playing, and I'm not knocking it because it does serve its purpose. You know, like a lot of classical guitars will use the legato technique, but notice that the first note that got plucked has the most value. The other notes kind of fall to the wayside. So that's why I'm more of a big fan of that. Now I'm going to show when you have to play lightly with a pick, depending on fast or slow. It's a light touch to emphasize the soft emotion. Now, here's something with the vibrato. If you want to develop with, let's say, using the pick, how to control dynamics, it's going to be light touch, hard touch, light touch, hard touch. Really pick a string that has a string next to each other, so you get control of this. Now what I'm doing is kind of holding back on my. So if you hear that, the volume is going up and down, up and down. We're back, my friends. But what you're trying to do is trying to convey a certain emotion. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is, Now, I could do pretty quick with my fingers with the tremolo. I, over the years, learned how to develop muting the other strings so my fingers don't hit the other, the other strings when I'm playing that. There was a time, really not too long ago, about maybe 10 years ago. For a long while, I was doing nothing but a lot of walking scales, finger picking, because I thought, you know what, I know I could nail this if I want to play as fast with a pick, but with my fingers, like Paco de Lucia. Now, Paco de Lucia, that's all he played, and I've seen him live in concert, and man, I'll tell you what, it's mind blowing. But nothing is ever outside your reach. It's only outside your reach if you allow it to be, But everyone does have their breaking point. So you get as close as possible, but yet you take your own uniqueness and you make that shine. Because you're never going to sound like everybody. You're always going to sound like yourself. So I would do my exercise, walk up, back and forth with just the fingers. But at the same time, when you're playing multiple styles of music, what you gotta also be careful of, if you do nothing but concentrate on speed, then all the finesse goes out the window, and then someone that's gonna pay you to play at a certain event, they'll think twice because they'll say, well, you don't sound good, So everything has to sound good, It can't just be all flash and all go, and everything serves a purpose, When I play what's called like in the flamenco style, roscados, I do it backwards. They teach you like this. It's very uncomfortable for me. I do my index finger, flip it out, and up with the thumb. So when I'm there, I'm simulating like percussion. Now when I do this with the pick, it is slightly different. Oh, many miles to Babylon. Like Gates of Babylon, right? Let's see. Yeah, Jimmy. Now, with the, when I'm doing any type of syncopated rhythm, So it's very percussive type. Now, when I grab the electric guitar. And I hope this does, help you guys out a little bit there, because you'll start to see your dynamics playing clearly, and your dynamics is really sets the emotion. Now, here, with the electric guitar, and I play anything that's groove oriented, you start to see the comparisons. You know what I mean? You start to see where a lot of this comes from. So it's from those type of rhythms, basically. I hope this didn't go like all over the place, guys, because what it is having the ability to do multiple things. If someone would ask me what is the best way to assure me that I'll be able to get as many gigs or be a working musician, is really being able to have multiple styles. But you'd have to start it with stuff that you really like to do. And then maybe as years go on, things will start to evolve. Because there's nothing worse than trying to force yourself doing something you just can't stand. One of my students I had, he wanted to learn how to play electric blues. His friend says, nope, you got to buy an acoustic guitar first. You got to play it till your fingers bleed. My fingers never bled. Well, maybe you didn't practice that much. I practiced a whole hell of a lot. There's a right way to practice. It's just called common sense. You take breaks, That's how it is. Let's see. I also I've got that Old Man Dan. I also have that cassette tape from Yngwie Malmsteen's Magnum Opus CD. Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff that's out there. Yeah, you have to, it sounds pretty emotional on it. Yeah, you have to make sure things do sound emotional, because that's really what draws a person's attention, Okay, I gotta take my time. It's 2 hours into this, guys. So, we're gonna do it, and I'll make sure my volume's not too loud, because the little kitties have got little ears, Don't want to hurt their eardrums, right? So, I'm gonna do just a quick jam before I close off with this. But you see now, I gotta check. I apologize who said about learning the Eric Johnson licks, but I appreciate you mentioning that, because now I got the song out, and little by little I go over certain things, But again, just keep in mind, do things nice and accurately, This could also open up so many windows of other topics. But let's say you want to learn that riff. Learn that riff in different places. Octaves lowered, right? We have a C, E, and A. That's basically what it's based off. So. Okay, so here it is. C, E, and A. So you can kind of see what you could build off of just that little tiny practice riff from Clifford Over's. The main riff, the main theme. Da 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 da. You can start to see what you could do with this. Now, change the rhythm. Now, get a little creative with it. It might sound like it's noodling. It might sound very, basic, anyone could do that. Well, maybe yeah, anyone could do that, but the whole point is that can you take something that you're learning and start to change it around and just branch a whole new idea? That's how a lot of people write music. They'll get influenced by other people, take a riff that they're trying to learn, and they practice it so much, and then you get the idea, hey, I wonder what it sounds like at a lower, octave lower, or an octave higher. I wonder what happened if I change the rhythm. You know, right now I cannot play it at that pace. So I have to play it slow because right now that's the level where I'm at, right? Never be afraid to admit that. Every time I learn a new song, I'm a beginner. Every single time. Because that's the first time I'm learning that song, right? See? We get just, the sky's that's basically what I'm just trying to say, guys. I know sometimes I'm babbling on here. I don't mean to, you know what I mean? But if it helps people, I need the shred weeds. Yeah. Now let's try something here. Okay? Let's see what that is it. Alright, my friends. I really appreciate you guys putting up with my nonsense here. You guys totally rock. I just want to kind of just, share certain things with everybody out there. Um, and again, we are going to be doing spotlighting people's music. So all you got to do is just let us know what song you want me to play, and boom, I'll play it. And when I get that okay from you guys, not just like on the channel here, but also at our live shows, because believe it or not, it looks like there's people not listening out there in the crowd to some of the clubs. But then there are people that are. They're listening. And the ones who listen, who pay attention, will ask me, "Hey, that sounded cool." Again, having issues. Anyways, when I'm going to explain to them what I'm doing, they think it's a great idea. Because there's still music lovers out there. And they're the ones that say, you know what? It's good that someone like you is out here, even though there's not like a big crowd. You're helping to try to keep it alive. Things will eventually turn themselves around. All right, my friends, Old Man Dan, you guys take care. Everyone out there, 9 Fathoms, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Always remember, this is a channel where we desire to inspire people. No matter on what topic, we'll always give it to you straight. We'll never hose people down. We'll try to remember, remind people, always have that backup system in place, Anything in life could happen. Always be prepared, my friends, and you won't have any issues, right? So hold the doors of opportunity open. Help those people out. Desire to inspire. And we won't be going live tonight, but we'll be live on Wednesday. And we'll be doing our spotlighting. So, yeah, unfortunately, dry heat 480. We don't have any gig tonight, which is kind of good because now I could go over some new material. But we will be live on Wednesday, my friends. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. You guys totally rock. Stay safe out there. God bless you. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.